Quay, part two. 10:55 in the morning, West Coast time, Tuesday, the 25th of June, 2024. So, how is the conquest going, Reverend? Gotten your sword all stained already with the crusade earmarks and stuff all over it? Don't you understand that we're supposed to be doing this in the name of somebody else and not in the name of our faith? While we're doing this in the name of somebody else, we must charge down the battle zones here, screaming and yelling our heads off, even though the battle zones are the school places and public education places. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you a registered and documented United States citizen of the United States? I'm sorry, you can't participate here. No fun for you. However, you can join Canada's own version of Crusades if they actually wanted to do it, saying that your own province is part of Canada but not part of the United States. It should not affect you. You're already of the affected. You're already of the Christian nation. You're not part of Big Brother here. Big Brother must do everything. It's the era of that. Yeah, here comes the fear and paranoia coming out of my mouth here again. So basically, we're talking about the Crusades, fear and paranoia. But we're doing it in the name of God. We're doing this in the name of God. We're doing under His watch. We're doing under His instructions. I want to see somewhere in the Bible, if they're going to be following the Bible that closely, what's the timetable for this? Come on. Let's get on with it here, okay? I mean, if we're going to be getting into religious indoctrination at this point over here, where's the timetable? Where's the general? Where's the guy who's doing all the leading at this point, giving us all specifics? No, we got to deal with the generalized. Oh, just to whip somebody in. I felt this energy. I felt this, and I think we should do it right now. Who says, but I say so right now. We must put our signs up there, and they must follow it because I say so. And who are you? I am the voice of God. Nut Hut. Monogram straitjacket for you. Soft food. Bye. Bye. Just get out of here. That's how we should treat it these days. If somebody's going to be telling me that I have to follow him because he says so, because he's the word of God at this point over here, I'm going to say, bite me, bitch. Yeah, that's strong. It's not that I'm against God and or against Jesus at this point over here. I want to know what gives him the ultimate moral authority or any kind of authority telling me how to worship. You're going to put some kind of religious indoctrination in my schools that I keep going to as an adult, and you want me to follow this crap? Just don't look at it. Just don't look at. No, it's there. No. That doesn't work. It's like a nurse coming into the doctor's office with a shot needle ready to stab your arm, and you're already terrified and fearful of needles. I know I am. I'm seeing this from personal experience. Just don't look at it, John. It won't hurt as much. Tweak! Ah! See, it didn't hurt. My arm fell off, but it didn't hurt, did it? I'm bleeding all over the place. You just shot us through the arm. But it's only just a nice long lance about this long here. Just had to give you a little bit of a shot. Just had to keep finding that vein there, and it just kind of sliced off your arm here. Gross yet? Dramatic? Over the top? Grotesque? Ah, be accountable, transparent, and responsible on this one. I'm going to get my ass reamed. I'm going to get my ass reamed on this one, Reverend. And yeah, I'm not holding back sometimes the language. I should be. Being respectful for everybody else. But I'm going to have somebody else going to be disrespecting me by forcing their viewpoints down my throat because they say so by state law, saying, well, just don't look at this damn thing. No, it's there. Okay? It's there. They're telling me that if I happen to walk in the state of Louisiana and take college courses, I'm going to have to be inflicted by someone else's religious viewpoint down my throat? Or let alone Texas, being cluster twits as they are, including Louisiana and every other damn red state out there, who thinks along the same way. Just don't bother with it. What if I'm Jewish? Don't look at it. What if I'm Muslim? Well, you gotta be converted. If I believe in the Hindu, Vishnu, if I believe in volcanism, if I am a Trekkie, but even Vulcans are supposed to have an open mind, and yet they're closed minded individuals, as represented in our Star Trek lore. And some people actually take that damn lore way too seriously, they're Reverend drivers. Way too much. So, yeah, I'm off the deep end on this one. I am way off the reservation on this. I am looking at the stakes and I'm lifting them up one by one. I'm looking at the barbed wire and I'm snipping these things. You're not encroaching on my territory. You are not my territory. You didn't say you were going to do so anyway, but if you're going to be representing one of these kind of people, I'm saying yes. And you want to enforce church doctrination down people's throats, there's one way of forcing a state law to do so. But we have that nasty thing called the United States Constitution. Well, we can get rid of that damn thing, can't we? So much for rules, laws, and regulations that the United States citizens live under. Or anybody else for that matter. But then again, define them as United States citizens. So now we get the division and derision at this point over here. We have to find out who is and who isn't. We're going after people left and right. Do you believe? Do you not believe? No, it gets worse than that. As I said before in my previous video, 1984. We are talking one particular point of view. And in the book, not to mention there were some kind of demonstrations happening, that thought police manipulates one form or one way or another, in one application or another, that your thoughts and your memories are modified so you don't have to think or believe in anybody else. You are the state. You will be modified by the state. You will be thinking because the state deems it in one form or a fashion. You are Borg. Think it's extreme? Look at the hit world history at this point and tell me when it's not extreme, Reverend. When we're forcing our values, our freedoms, we're forcing them out the door because the small groups are saying you're gonna be this way because we say so. We make the rules. And what I don't see is the pushback on this. I don't see the pushback. We're waiting for November 5th so we can do the pushback on this one. Why come we haven't been pushbacking now? The ACLU is doing this, trying to tell you that, yes, in certain aspects, we don't have. There are certain laws, criteria, precedents set up in the previous administrations and the previous justices in the Supreme Court of the United States who are trying to use guideposts of saying whether or not this is really secularism, it doesn't belong here, or it isn't. There are certain guidelines that they follow left and right to help them make the right moral and legal challenge possible. This situation we got right now. I'm not apologizing for going off the deep end because I went off the deep end. And I wanted to show people how crazy it is. I wanted to explain it. Said before, we have writers from the past to the current. We have people producing media trying to show us one way or another, or maybe many ways, of our own behaviors, our own thought patterns, whether or not they be extreme for one person but maybe logical to the other person. In our country, the United States of America, we're supposed to be pluralistic. The concept was supposed to be taught to us a long time ago. We had to be pluralistic. Try to be open-minded about we can clash because we didn't like the viewpoints and we go butting heads. But that was the system that we actually had for democracy. They butt heads, but they tried to find a common ground. Where's the common ground in trying to force someone else's religious viewpoint down our throats in public education? Public education that is supported by taxpayer dollars out of my damn pocket. Out of my damn pocket. And if you're going across the ways, I'll be out of your pocket too. Came across over here to do some business and shopping. Hell, you get to pay the state. You get to pay the state tax. But for me, if I was still a working person, I get taxes taken out, probably for the Social Security, but also paying for everything else around here. That would include someone else's forced indoctrination of religious viewpoints down someone else's throats, or coming across as a boomerang, mine. And because I go to public college in the state of California, because of certain guidelines and criteria I've met and continue to meet, I work my ass off trying to get those grades necessary to be a graduate, to be part of the collegiate system there. And in such collegiate systems, in such classrooms, we don't have those kind of postings happening all over the place. We kept it generic. We kept it generic. We don't post them in there. No professor has their own classroom assigned to them unless it's going to be permanent. And if it's going to be permanent, that's their place. If they're tenured. Even universities do the same thing. But are the universities publicly paid or paid for by private or by both? And if it is paid by public, that means taxpayer money, which means the voters would have a say for this thing, wouldn't they? But now we would have a religious group out there who would say otherwise, say, no, you're going to be forced to think this way. If you don't like it, look away. Look away. Don't see it. You mustn't see it. If it offends you, don't see it. You can't see it. You can't see what's going on. You're not allowed. But we want everybody else to watch it. If it offends you, don't see it. Don't be inflicted by it. But everyone else will watch it. And eventually, you'll watch it too. Why? Because you will. And if you don't like it, we're forcing the sign down your throats. Don't like it? It will be done. Because we say so. But if we're going to be doing brutalistic and Star Trek Borg-like here, saying you will be assimilated or else. Think of the or else. Think on it real hard. If you understand your Star Trek mythology and lore, you have empires. You are subjugated. You have no choice. And you fight back, you're rebels. You can't fight back. You will be subjugated, period. That's how it is. Because we say so. And we will try you under our excruciating laws. And one particular race, they put you on a penal planet called Rua Pente, and you die working your ass to death. Freezing cold, mining dilithium. If you're in Star Trek Borg, you're going to get assimilated, period. Otherwise, you're dead. You're dead anyway. Romulan Empire, well, they only had their governing everything else in the borders, but they'll be willing to expand if the other empires would be willing enough to do that. Empires like to do that. Expand their borders, but the problem is they still have resources. They want to gather, but it takes resources to expand an empire, doesn't it? Even world history teaches us this. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I mention an ugly, hideous word? History? I mean, did I actually utter a single ugly word to you, Reverend? History? Human history? Even animals have their own areas. Encroach upon their areas, all hell breaks loose. Unless, of course, we're talking about resource wars. Again, we have stories, and we're coming up on history that's being played out right now, even as we speak. Resource wars. You don't see it, but it's happening. You look at other countries' plights. You see the other things that they're happening right now. Are they worrying about Sharia law? My dog is whining right now. Give me 1 second. Yeah, well, consider today is one of those kind of days, and I'm going thermonuclear at this point. We got a couple of more days before we got two gas bags going to be talking with each other. One of the gas bags I am going to be voting for, on the record. And the other one, with all the minions walking around acting like they're copies of a maggot, going to be looking for people who are voting for the other guy and not following one particular gas bag. My door's right here. It's locked. Come on down. I'll give you some roaches. Seriously, I'll find some roaches for you. I'll throw them at you too. I'll say the maggots. You gonna trade me some maggots for roaches? I've got traps around here and I'll turn those maggots into spider bait. I got spiders living in here. I don't like any of the damn bugs. I don't like tolerating them. I gotta deal with it. But it's part of nature. I did say something about resource wars that were happening right now. We got water problems happening in different countries left and right. Mexico, one of them. They've been dealing with for an ongoing situation. Mexico City is drying up. We got the Great Plains of the United States drying up because of climate change. Is moral stuff in a classroom going to help out with the climate change that we've already screwed ourselves over? Is that going to help it out? Or is there some kind of biblical vile crap coming out of people's mouths thinking that God's angry at us? Well, he should have been angry at us. He should have been angry at us a hell of a long while ago, never created us in the first place. But he did. And he still tried to save our ass and tried to give us some morals. And we still can't follow him now, can we? We can't follow anything right because we're screwing ourselves left and right. What I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for an alien invasion to coming out from the stars, blasting us out of existence because they think we're so pathetic and so screwed up according to their values. Forced indoctrination doesn't do a damn thing to us. I don't care how well they sugarcoat the damn thing, you still feel it. You still feel the needle stick. So let's get back to a metaphor I deal with on some occasions here, Reverend. And this is still going to be played out to everybody else, I hope. Because you go into a doctor's office, you got sensitive skin, your nerves are fried and raw. Mine are all the time. And I have to go in for either an injection of sorts or I have to go in for the dreaded blood work. I've already got a lifelong thing about this. They call it the white lab coat syndrome, but it isn't white lab coat syndrome for me because I've been experiencing ever since the day I died. I came back to life and been a pincushion ever since. They wanted to make sure that the heart was healthy. They want to make sure the rest of the organs are healthy. So, blood. Oh, by the way, there's an infection out there. So, we've got to give you an antibiotic here. We got to get you a vaccine. We got to stab you. Does it hurt? Yes. Silence is golden. I have to be in a position in my adult life not to look at the damn thing. Because my skin is still too damn sensitive to the needles going in and out. I had developed a healthy disrespect, no, an unhealthy disrespect for the entire medical establishment who are in the business of trying to care and trying to heal in the form of inflicting pain and damage on everybody. And how are you supposed to give comfort to a kid every single time you give Johnny or Susie a shot? No, you just give them the shot. This might sting a bit. It's going to sting. Here it comes. It's going into your skin. Scream if you must. Of course, they want to say that. course, you want to hear that. You're the kid going about to get stabbed and inflicted and infected. And then it's in. It penetrates the skin layers. It gets to the nerves and rattles their cage to where the impulses are going through the nervous system into the spinal column, shoots it straight over to the brain, and the brain's going, ah! So out comes your mouth, ah! In reaction to it. And then the doctor's coming around saying, I told you to shut up, Marianne. Your kid's screaming again. He does this one more time, I'm not treating him. I'll be sending him over to a different place. It'll be worse. They'll be strapping you down. And in reality, they did as a kid. Because I wouldn't put up with the damn stuff. And I embarrassed my ma a great deal on that one. Of course, she felt sympathetic, but she also gave me the evil glare all the time. Because I embarrassed her in front of the doctor. Good. Trying to cause pain for me. Marianne! Yeah, because I wasn't born in an era where I had to endure such stuff and be a tough kid. I wasn't the tough kid. I was a nice kid. But you were pissing me off at the doctors and hospitals left and right. You were pissing me off at the medical establishment to the point where every time I keep passing by them, my blood pressure goes up. Because my body and my mind remembers. Pain, infliction. They cause it. You're coming in with an issue and you go out worse. How about skin infections? MRSA viruses. You go in with one issue and you come out as a body bag. Oh, we heard about that one for decades. Can't go into a hospital without feeling whether or not you're coming out or not. I kid you not. There have been people like that regretting the hell out of hospitals because they felt like they were just places you don't go into. I heard the gripes, I heard the grumbles. I have been through the gripes and grumbles myself. Even as a non-patient. Even if they had a cut in their place, you get a virus or something like that, and guess what? You're doomed. Yeah. Had to be healthy to work in a place like that. Had to be super healthy to work in a place like that, just hoping that your antibodies would work. Am I putting people off regarding the medical establishment? That's only my own damn fears that I'm going through. You're on your own. But I look at it, and I know other people would look at it through their own mindset, that we're talking about the same things, aren't we? Are we? Because I know this would be the mindset for the conspiracy nut jobs, and they'd be looking for other things and other correlations at this point. I'm saying stuff because my own damn correlations, what's going on with me, that I still have to clarify it with a therapist. At least I'm still talking to a therapist. And I'm seeing her too on the Zoom. We talk about things. I put these things on video links, and she'll be able to watch what kind of a nut job I turn into that day and that morning. Am I alive? Am I sane? Well, yeah. Have I turned into a raging monster yet? No, not yet. But, some days when I'm not turning into a damn grieving monster or a rage monster at this point, I'm watching politics and trying to understand what the next lunatic's about to say. And if they're going to be converting the masses left and right into someone else's religious indoctrination, I'll keep throwing George Orwell at them. They'll talk about the drugs that they thought they were going to use to make people feel this way. And I'll talk about Brave New World, Aldous Huxley, the Soma drugs. When I talk about religious viewpoints enforced strictly, but of course they're going to say, no, you can just not see it. Well, I cannot see it because you've already posted it. And if you posted it on there, what are you trying to do? Convert the masses? Now, it's one thing if I had, go back to the things of what I've said in a previous video. If you have professors or teachers trying to use it into a historical, not hysterical, but historical, HIST, concept of trying to put things into a perspective. It's one thing. But when you're talking about morals in a school format, you'll say, yes, yes, yes. Whose morals? Christianity. Wrong. Put that into an educational philosophy class or something else that doesn't force morals down people's throat. No, you don't understand. We must have morals. We're so moral. We're unmoral. We don't have morals. Lady, you are so full of it, it's not even funny. No wonder your state is going under and should have gone under a long time ago. With that kind of an attitude, you're going to be forcing indoctrination down people's throats left and right. It's one thing if they happen to come to God and they come to their own religious deities out there by choice, by necessity. But you can't force and legislate that kind of thinking into people's thought patterns. It's one thing to say you can't kill because it's against the law. That's a moralistic thing, but that's what we have. I'm not arguing with the damn thing because I don't like people killing me or trying to kill me because it is illegal, or trying to shoot me or stab me or anything else like that, or me trying to do it to anybody else. It's still a bad thing. But if I'm going to be forcing my viewpoint of God down people's throats directly or indirectly at this point, in a public education place that's already been outlawed by a U.S. Constitution, everybody has sworn, including the legislators themselves who are making up these damn laws, including the bill signers, even the ones who are given the governmental authority. Did they not understand they swore an oath to the Constitution? Not to the Holy Bible or anything else like that? You want to have their values? Do it in a church. Do it in a synagogue. Do it in a place of worship. Public education isn't a place of worship. It's a place of education. We're teaching people how to live by using their mind, analyzing, critical thinking, critical analysis, understanding what's going on. We teach them numbers. We teach them graphics. We teach them things. But morals and values? Let's put it into a philosophy class. Let's put them into a philosophy class and let them argue it out. Or put them into a debate and let them argue it out. In that kind of format. That the viewpoint is better. This is democracy. We're supposed to give them a choice. We're supposed to have them have a choice. Not force a choice down their throat. That's not a choice. That's not a choice. That's my way or else, and you're going to be forced. No. I don't care if it's nicely put. Well, just don't look at it. It's still there. But don't look at it if you find it offensive. You're offending everybody else here. And this is a science class, damn it! And you putting up a moral value here? Something of a philosophy nature? This is a history class. We could talk about history. We could argue about this damn thing. But you're going to be forcing this thing every single day? Well, yes, that's the state law. But the Constitution says no. Well, who cares about the U.S. Constitution? You're the one that swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States. You were one of the ones signing the bills. You were the one that gave the authorization. You were the one who helped create this damn thing. And now you're forcing everyone else to think about your way of thinking at this point. You're not accepting pluralistic. You're singing one ring, one rule. You're thinking about a Sauron. You're thinking about a Lord of the Rings invasion situation here. Now, why do you think sometimes I go off the deep end when it comes down for literary examples that we have compared to historical stuff? Because writers are usually digging into stuff like this, having the basis for their own stories and their own things that we watch and absorb, and sometimes we like, but other people don't. So maybe sometimes they get the message faster than other people do. I may be off the deep end on this one, Rev. I probably am. There she goes again. Anyway, time for me to end this right now.